Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Tilting Ground Untitled Notre Dame USC Football Podcast. I'm Michael Muto. I'm here with Notre Dame football expert Greg Plamong. Greg, you have to be excited.
I am in a good mood. I'm not going to deny that.
All right, we're doing this from across the country. I'm in Atlanta. Greg's back home in California.
Michael, you are in Atlanta. I just need to point out for the listeners, it's 1 a.m. in Atlanta right now.
But to be fair, it's still whatever time it is in California for me.
I don't even care. It's 1 a.m. I would be sleeping.
No. I do this for the people.
You do it for the people. That has never been more true. Congrats.
We got to do it. Well, it's still fresh in my head. We need to talk about Notre Dame and USC football. That's what we're here for.
It has to happen.
Two top 25 ranked teams.
Oh my.
There's a showdown coming in October. I don't like it, but let's not even talk about that.
Well, I have a question for you.
All right.
How do you when you watch USC games, how do you take in games? Generally.
I've said a couple times on here so far. This year, whole new attitude. Okay. And the attitude is believe in Sam Darnold. And it's worked out so far. It's worked out last year too. So
you've been reinforced for that.
Yeah. I mean, I try not to get pithy and glib and just, if it's close in the first quarter, if it's close at halftime, I try not to lean into that and just hope and know that this team is a team full of superstars and touchdown scorers and know that it's going to happen. Just have faith because I think that's what Clay Helton's doing too. So that's all I got right now. That's all I got.
Okay, because I'm not like that. I have Notre Dame PTSD, where I never think that they're gonna I'm always afraid. They were up 35-10, late in the third quarter, and I was super concerned.
I mean, look, I'm gonna be honest. I was doing the math, and I'm like, okay, how much time is left? What's the score? And Michigan State can still do this. I think they can still do this.
Stranger things, Michael.
Yeah,
this is what happens when you have a team that is just – you're like, are they really going to win this game, in a blowout? I feel like they're not. And I'm always afraid, why is Michigan State – they're throwing the ball pretty well.
They were.
And, where's the pass rush? Why can't we get a pass rush? It's 35-10, and I'm freaking out.
No, I think since we've been doing this, it was the Brian Van Gorder defense, and anything's possible with them. So maybe we're conditioned to failure. But because I was doing it too, I was like, Michigan State looks pretty good right now. They're really moving the ball, even though they weren't scoring touchdowns.
Yeah, it was because it was 35-10, and I was like, if they get a stop, or if they get a score, and then they get a stop. And then it's 35-24, and then they get another stop. And I was just I don't know. And then I was thinking, but they don't have time. How much time do they really have? Yeah.
I was like, they can't. But maybe they could.
But then as it turned out, they couldn't. They could not.
No, they couldn't. Well,
and they did not.
To full disclosure for everyone who listens to this thing, any week I've bet on USC cover, Notre Dame lose, straight up lose. Notre Dame has won and USC has not covered. So
I like it.
So there's that.
Keep that going. Keep it rolling in that regard.
So how do you feel? I mean, let's start with Notre Dame. It was I'm across the country, as Greg mentioned earlier. It was the game I kind of missed the most out. But to be fair, it was 14-0 real quick.
It was.
So it was okay to kind of tune out.
So my experience was we were at a work function, a work party for my wife, and we got there at 3, and I knew the game started at 5, and I was just gonna go because we were gonna try to leave around 5:30, 6 o'clock for the kids because the kids need to get home and they need to get dinner and go to bed. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to go radio silent. I'm not going to look at my phone, and I'm not going to I'm not going to just think about it. Well, we get there and the game is on, like they have the TV on, and they were watching the USC game. And so I was like, okay, that's fine. But then one of the girls who works with my wife, she also went to Notre Dame, and she was like, well, I want to watch. And I was like, okay, that's great. Like, I hate watching games in segments. I don't like it. It makes me uncomfortable. I don't like it either.
I'm right there with you.
Yeah, so I don't like it. So if I can't watch the start of it, then I don't want to watch it at all until I can take in the whole thing. Because then it's like I have to watch like the first 10 minutes, and then I have to drive for 40 minutes, and I'm like thinking, like, what if this happened? What did that happen? So I was sitting there, and I knew she was in the house watching it, and I was like, okay, I'm not gonna go in there, and I'm not gonna think about it. So we get up to leave, and she comes running out, and she goes, "We scored again!" Now, she said again, so I'm like, okay, again. The game shouldn't have been going on that long, so that's good. And so then I looked up, and they showed the pick six. So I knew Notre Dame was up 14-0 in the first 5 minutes. And so immediately I was like, okay, 14-0. Are they going to blow this? Like, are they going to blow this? Am I getting my hopes up? And then I just eventually settled on, like, look, the game, Notre Dame has been spotted 14 points in this game, which is good. So anyway, so then we got to her parents' house, and we watched the game. So obviously they started well. Like, Wimbush looked a lot better. He looked more in control. Like, just generally, like, he was completing like screen passes or quick passes. Like, they were, it was like, yeah, if they're open, he's going to complete them, and that's great.
In defense of me still hating Brandon Wimbush, I feel like it's easy to play offense when you're winning.
Right, but they weren't winning when the game started.
Well, I mean, it took like a minute. They scored in like 6 plays.
Right, but it was on offense.
That's true. All right.
I mean, look at it.
It was like a 50-yard play or something. You're right.
He looked good on the first drive. And he threw the ball. He did. So kudos to him. So then I saw the pick six, and then I see them give up a 50-yard run on a quarterback sneak, which was tight. Super tight play. So, I mean, how do I feel about it? I feel fine. Because, look, there's a lot of, like, we've been talking about, like, there's a lot of ways to lose games. And there's also a lot of ways to win games. And if Michigan State wants to turn the ball over a bunch, and Notre Dame's going to capitalize on their turnovers and build up a big lead to the point where, like, they don't really have to be aggressive in the second half at all. And they weren't, and that's fine. Like, people, like, a lot of people are talking, like, are going to see the disparity in total yards. Michigan State had a lot more total yards than Notre Dame did, but, like, yards don't equal victories, like points do. Right. So if Notre Dame is able to rack up a bunch of points without getting a bunch of yards, well, then who cares? Like, you play points. You play the game you need to play in order to win, and they were up. They were up big, so it's like we don't need to throw the ball around.
They're not throwing.
And deep. Michigan State did. So what did Notre Dame do? On defense, they weren't very aggressive. They just sat back and they rushed 4, and the Michigan State quarterback was able to pick them apart a little bit. But it's like they had the one drive at the end of the third quarter and into the fourth quarter where they had like a 16-play, like 8-minute drive. And if they want to do that when they're down by 25 points, then God bless them. And it didn't even work out for them. Notre Dame stopped them on downs. So, I'm not super concerned about, like, the way that it happened or that they didn't gain as many yards as they needed. Like, the fact that they couldn't get a lot of pressure with 4 players, that didn't fire me up. Michigan State converted a lot of 3rd and longs. That didn't fire me up.
There were some holes to poke in this win.
Yeah, but then like
It's
Michigan
kind of weird
State
though,
isn't.
because they were up so much so early, so it's like I don't know what to make of it.
Yeah, and it's like like look, it's a game that they won on the road, the second in a row. They've had trouble with Michigan State,
Not
and now,
yesterday.
well, not yesterday, but in the
Yeah,
past.
I know.
And so now you get Miami of Ohio at home, which they should handle. And then you go on the road again against North Carolina, and it just builds momentum. You're building momentum on the season.
I did not expect a momentum build.
Right, and that's what they're doing. And when you can do that, so if you beat North Carolina, now you're where you want to be. You're 5-1 going into the big game.
You lost to a good team. It's not like you lost to some garbage team.
Right, and Georgia whacked Mississippi State last week. So
yeah, Georgia's the real deal. I mean, that's a good loss.
Georgia
as good
looks
as
really
losses
good.
can be.
But it doesn't really matter because, like we said, the good loss thing in 2015 against Clemson, and it's like, so what? They went and lost to Stanford, so who cares?
Gus Johnson brought that up during the broadcast.
What?
Tastefully. About how good Notre Dame was that year and how they had a shot at a national title, maybe.
Well, yeah, they had the chance. They had the chance to go 11-1, and they lost to Stanford.
It was a real weird. I don't know how close you're listening to what they were saying, but Gus Johnson kept saying things like Brian Kelly's job is safe for this week, which is a really weird thing to say, like just in general.
I mean, also factual. It was safe
that
for
was
that
the
week.
other weird part. I was like, well, of course his job's in. However, his job may be in question if they lose. Like, I don't know. Like, yeah, I'm like, I talk about Notre Dame football once a week, and you're right. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, so it makes me feel good about like just up until USC, I guess. I'll never feel totally safe because I've been conditioned not to. But I feel like this team is going in the right direction. Because look, it doesn't really matter. Like, what's important is that the team itself, the players themselves, show things that you want to see in a team that you expect. Like, you want them to be good eventually, no matter who the coach is.
Right.
Right. Because look, the players that are playing, like, those are going to be the guys, no matter who's coaching them. So it's like you want to see things from them. You want to see Brandon Wimbush improve. You want to see the defense figure things out. You want to see the running backs. You want to see the receivers. So, it's good to see on that front, no matter who the coach is, right? Like, I still have my doubts about Brian Kelly, but, like, there's something to work with here. So that's what's exciting. That's what's fun.
They're trending up.
Yeah. Yeah. And, like, speaking of Gus Johnson and Joel Klatt, Brandon Wimbush got hit late out of bounds, and Joel Klatt didn't like it that they called a penalty. He's 4 yards out of bounds. And I understand that, like, maybe the defender, it's like when he committed, he was inbounds. And Joel Klatt's like, well, I didn't really like the call, and they're going too far with the rules. Like, dude, that's been a penalty for 100 years.
I agree with you, partner, as Gus Johnson would say.
Man, when has that ever not been a penalty? Like, is that a new thing?
I think Joel Klatt is just against penalties, just as a whole. After watching USC's game a week ago, Joel Klatt is not a fan of penalties.
And I really enjoyed how he didn't like that, but then it's like the Michigan State linebacker, like Brandon Wimbush gets tackled, and the kid literally just like he literally just leads with his helmet, like a screwdriver right into the turf with the top of his helmet into Brandon Wimbush's helmet. I can't get a call.
Nope.
I can't get a replay review.
Not on the Fox broadcast. It's
just unbelievable. It's incredible. How does this happen? I mean, I could go back and just look and show just like the targeting penalties that have gotten Notre Dame players kicked out of games. Like the kid gave a guy like a forearm. He's trying to roll off it. It's like, yeah,
To
just
the head,
chuck him.
targeting.
Just chuck him. Oh, man. Oh,
Not when Joel Klatt's calling the game.
not on his watch.
Just keep it moving. Let's just keep it moving, guys.
Yeah, let's play on.
On to the next one. Let's go. Let's keep it moving.
Yeah.
If only if like we need the penalty to be called, if it'd be better for ratings or dramatics, like then it's okay. However, any other time prior to that, no penalties. Thank you. And he's a quarterback. That's my favorite part.
Yes.
This guy's never met like a non-call that he doesn't love, and he's a quarterback.
Exactly. Like he's always just like, nah, man, let's just play on. Keep it going.
You see, what the DB did was good coverage because he got his hand on the inside and not the outside. It's like, what? That's still pass interference, buddy.
Yeah.
Nope.
It's like he's still breaking rules. I don't understand.
It's like, but he did it in a clean way. He broke the rules like in a way the refs may not notice. So no call. That's Joe Klatt every week.
Hey, how much time do you want me to spend talking about Shaun Crawford?
He had another fumble recovery, right?
The kid forced the fumble on the 1 yard line. Like the guy's walking in. I've been on this train for 2 years, and I've been pumping this kid, and he's coming through.
And rivalries and hatred of blue jerseys and gold helmets aside, you got to root for Shaun Crawford. I mean, 2 years, 2 injuries. Like, come on. Torn
ACL in fall practice. Torn Achilles in the second game of 2016.
Non-contact injury.
Shaun Crawford is my president. What a champion! What a champion!
I mean, they're kids, and like it's great. It's great to see a guy come back and like do all that. Rivalries aside, at the moment.
I mean, he's just he's any fan's like favorite type of player. Like he's just a baller. Like he goes out there and he makes plays. He makes things happen when there's just no play to be made. And
didn't he make when he got hurt last year? Wasn't he making a play? Wasn't it like
he was.
He like batted a ball down or something. Or
on the play,
pass interference or something.
The play he tore his Achilles on.
Or he dropped an interception, right, or something like that, right?
No, the kid caught the ball, but then he got his hand in there and ripped it out. And they originally called it a fumble on the field, but then they said it was incomplete. But basically, like, so he's breaking up a pass as he's tearing his Achilles.
Right.
I mean, dude. What do you want to say? He's a star.
Good. I'm glad he's back. Good for him.
He's a star, and I'm glad he's part of the team.
Unity, as we learned this weekend in football. Let's all come together and not be apart.
That's right.
In the spirit of unity, I just want to say, Notre Dame. This is gonna hurt. This hurts me to say. I thought of it all day yesterday. Notre Dame under the lights, the shiny gold helmets. It's a good look. The helmets were popping last night, and I thought that was just a great look for TV. The glitter was like extra sparkly.
It doesn't hurt, Michael.
No, it's all about optics. Let's be real.
It's all about optics.
The recruits love that stuff.
I
feel like they brought like the extra paint out too. Like I feel like they brought like the extra good paint because they knew they were.
Well, they started that. They started that I think in 2012. They started doing like that extra shiny. Because they didn't have it in 2011 that I remember.
I'm perfectly honest. I was a little jealous of the helmets look great.
The gold helmets, man.
It was chipping. If I'm gonna draw a complaint,
it's always chipping, but that's why they like it. Because you get the lineman.
Oh, you get like the lineman, like, oh, look how tough I am, and then like the
and it's like it's all
fast because it's sparkling in the lights.
You remember when when you played in high school and you wanted all the stick marks?
Yeah, and now
from
you
the other team's
helmet. CTE, but whatever.
Oh yeah, now it's CTE. Yeah, but it was like part of the it was how tough am I if I've got a bunch of stick marks on my helmet?
The Tim, who you love to mention, who looks like Sam Darnold, who is both our friends, he had the best stick mark in high school. He went from like above his like ear holes, like the back of his head. I don't know how it was like a half-inch thick. I don't know how he did it.
You know what I used to do?
Tell
You
me.
know what I used to do? I used to take a teammate's helmet, and if I didn't have enough stick marks, I'd just stick them like with the face mask on it, so it'd get all messed up.
See, I'm the other way.
So
I'm like, keep me clean.
I've got stick marks too. I got stick marks too, guys.
That's good.
I'm very cool. Very cool.
I'm tough. People hit me.
I mix it up.
I'm hard in the DB drills, guys. You don't even know what practice is like for me.
I mix it up. It's true. I'm one of those guys.
I love it. All right. Well, we complimented. Who's Notre Dame have next week? What is it? Is it? You said it earlier.
They got Miami of Ohio.
That's right. Miami of Ohio. That's a win.
It should be. Do you know the line? I haven't seen it.
I'm gonna look right now as we talk.
Okay.
I mean, a max school. Like, come on, Notre Dame.
I'm gonna take a guess. Notre Dame minus 21.5.
I was gonna say under 20, but like over like 17. Let me look. Hold on, I'm still pulling it up.
I felt weird saying something like 19 because I was actually thinking that, but I'm gonna say minus 21.5.
Sportsbook.com is not showing me lines for next week yet. Hold on.
That's ridiculous.
Vegas Insider will give me the goods. Is Miami of Ohio even good?
They're 2-2.
That's the no. They play max schools. All right, let's see here. Bowling Green. Michigan State. I will edit this out so no one worry.
I see it on oddshark.com.
I found it. Oh, wow, that's a big one. Minus 23.
Minus 23. That was close.
Look, the only way Notre Dame would ever lose this game is if they lost to Michigan State and Georgia. And then people are worried about Brian Kelly's job. I can't imagine that Miami of Ohio is a threat to Notre Dame. I mean, stranger things, but
I'm gonna take the points just so I don't get all jinxy spinksy about it.
I mean, 23 is a lot.
This is just a classic. It's just a classic.
That's 3 touchdowns, man.
I know what it is, but I'll put it like this: Notre Dame was up 35-10 in the end of the third quarter, and I was like, they could still lose this game. So.
Yeah, but Michigan State's like a good team. Like they looked fairly competent until they messed it up every time around the goal line.
That's true, but I told you I have PTSD. I have a problem.
You do.
So I am not jinxing it.
All right.
I'm getting
23 is a lot. It's fine.
Taking the points.
Taking the points. All right.
Just because.
I probably would take the points too, but every time I take the points, Notre Dame wins. So
okay.
Who knows? All right, well, let's talk about USC while we're here and PTSD. As I mentioned earlier, I was flying across the country, and right as I landed, the USC game started. And I didn't miss anything because, it's hard. You're trying to get to where I'm going and whatnot. So the first hour, whatever, is a wash. I was watching on my phone. I was watching on my phone, not the same. But, man, it is nice. Like you say, you have PTSD from Notre Dame. It is nice to just know that USC can turn it on at any moment. And I just look up and oh, big win, whatever, no big deal. They didn't cover, but whatever. They blew a touchdown late in the fourth quarter. But oh man, it's weird. It's weird to I'm not used to this. Let's just say that close game, and tied at halftime, whatever. USC blowout.
Well, it's
so weird.
The thing that's kind of looming, because I watched a good amount of this game too. The thing that's always looming there is, that if it's close in the second half, Sam Darnold's going to turn it on, no matter how well he's playing. So you have to find a way to outplay him. And it's just hard to do. It's hard to do. Like it's hard to outplay a guy like that because he's so resourceful. So you could actually be playing well and he'll still beat you. So
right.
It's just like you need to just be better. You need to either be better than him or B, be so much better early when they're not like, they're not going to that place. Like they're not.
So you can't catch up.
It's like after a while, it's like they've dug themselves too big a hole and they can't get out. And obviously, that's not what Cal did.
I did see a stat. It was like I think right before halftime, they threw something up on the screen, and it said that Cal has outscored opponents like 30-something to 6 in the fourth quarter. It was like some crazy. I was like, oh, that's kind of ominous. But then if you look at what USC does to opponents in the fourth quarter, it's the same thing. So it's like, okay, I guess it's all right. But
you know what it's like? It was like Tom Brady today.
Tell me more. I love hearing this.
I hate you. It was just like it was, the Houston Texans. They're up 30-28, and it's 4th and 1 from whatever yard line, the Patriot 20 or whatever it is, and there's 2 minutes left or whatever, and they can kick the field goal and go up 5, or they can try to go for it, and it's like they kick the field goal. And it's like it's Tom Brady. Like he's always going to outplay you. Even though he didn't, because he got sacked for a fumble, but his offensive line recovered it. And on the very next play, he nearly threw an interception, but the guy dropped the ball when he landed. But he still just found a way to make it happen, and he throws the touchdown. And that's Sam Darnold right now. Like
pretty much.
In order to outplay him, like you have to play so well.
You can't mess up. You can't take your foot off the gas. You can't
you can't mess up, but he can.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He can still mess up. But if you're not perfect, he's gonna crush you.
Yeah, like he's gonna throw a pick, like whatever that happens. Yeah, it happens in the first half. It's gonna happen. They're not going to get a receiving touchdown, maybe. It's going to be low scoring, and then suddenly you're down by 20.
Right.
Like that's USC football at the moment.
The one thing I would be – go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
I was going to say the one thing that I would be concerned about if I was you is they've now – been close in the fourth quarter a whole bunch of times to a whole bunch of different kind of teams.
Yeah, every game's been close pretty much, except for Stanford.
But so you were close against Central Michigan, you were close against Texas, and now you were close against Cal. And even though like the Texas game was, that was like you were definitely in harm's way in that one. The Cal one, it's like you're tied. You're not really like until you're losing,
Yeah, that one was like not like scary.
Yeah, it was just like, come on, like a few things had to go wrong at that point.
Ronald, Ronald Jones the second was not playing.
Yeah, why was he out?
He's a little hurt, a little banged up.
See, it's tough because they don't have the bye. They don't have a bye.
It's crazy. All the things you say about USC football, like whatever, Sam Darnold, he's the best, so we can wash that away. But the no bye kind of worries me. Like Porter Gustin has a torn bicep, a sprained ankle, and like a toe with a screw in it.
Yeah,
like, that's not good. Like offensive linemen are dropping like flies. Who knows who's good on the defense? Like people are hurt, and there's not going to be a time to rest. And they play on Friday this week. Oh no!
Who do they play?
Washington State in the Palouse.
Oh no!
Oh yeah, they're going.
And they play on Friday. And Washington State's not terrible.
No, they're good. They score points.
Yeah.
There's one thing Washington State does: it score points.
Yeah.
That kind of worries me out. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Because the games that they've you've worried about, like, it was low scoring. So it's like, okay, they can, Sam Darnold can do this. He can score some touchdowns. It'll be fine.
Mm-hmm.
But if it gets, like, high scoring out of hand, like, I don't know what to feel.
And it's also kind of hard, too, because, like, it seems like it's Deontay Burnett, and then who knows?
That is also true.
Yeah. But,
Stephen Carr's, like, the second best receiver on the team.
Mm-hmm.
Not great.
But you do have the golden ticket.
Which golden ticket?
The golden ticket at quarterback.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Just making sure.
Yeah, I didn't know what you were talking about.
Oh, Tyler Vaughn showed up. He had some catches this week.
No, and you got some guys who are, certainly capable. They just haven't, you're trying to win a national championship.
Yeah, there's a lot on the line here. And it's like, oh, Jalen Green's the second best receiver on the team. Well, that's not good.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, he's not getting time at most schools in the top 10,
Mm-hmm.
possibly top 20. And Steven Mitchell was hurt as well, to be another thing in USC's defense.
Mm-hmm.
So he did not play. So maybe I don't know if it worked out because they won. Maybe they were holding everybody back because they know Washington State's on the road on a Friday. So it's like, look, we're going to need Steven Mitchell. Let's not play him. We're going to need Ronald Jones. Let's not play him.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Though Justin Wilcox was the Cal coach. I forgot to mention that last week. He's former USC defensive coordinator, so he might know all their tricks. Didn't work out.
No.
The USC defense, by the way, without Porter Gustin, not bad. Not bad.
Yeah, they did okay. I think both of our teams got outgained in victories this week.
Yeah, I think that's true.
See, that's all right.
Yeah, it happens as long as you're winning. Win is a win.
Yeah. Especially for you guys. And now it's like I'm getting like, it's getting closer now. So now I'm like really watching USC.
It really is getting closer. I had, like, going into the season, I'm like, this isn't going to be a thing. Like, nothing will matter in October. It's no big deal.
Yeah, it'll be a big deal.
It'll be a big deal. Yeah.
I think that watching Michigan State kind of do whatever they felt like passing the ball, that's got to make you feel pretty good.
Yeah, but USC is like, they're slow starters, so I don't know. That worries. The slow starter thing worries me.
I wonder.
One time they played a ranked team, they came out hot. So I don't know.
I wonder if Notre Dame's going to do the thing this year where they actually get better as the year goes on, because they usually don't, or they haven't. True. They haven't in the past. Like, they've kind of just gotten worse. So it's like, that's another thing that I'm kind of concerned about is, like, is this the best that they're going to be, or are they going to continue to just be like a better team? Like, am I going to look at this team in November and be like, if we had just gotten Georgia, like, now? Because usually it's like Notre Dame is their best in September and early October. And then as the season wears on, it's like, oh, my God, this team is trash.
Just get the season over with.
Yeah. So.
I don't know. I hope they're trending down. Let me tell you, as October, November rolls around. Beautiful Los Angeles make the trip to snowy South Bend.
It would be great if it did snow, wouldn't it?
That's why they have it in October, right? Just so it doesn't snow.
It absolutely is.
Look, I'm a homer. I don't care. I see snow, and I'm like, I don't want to, like, what? Water?
I mean, there can't be any other reason.
Yeah, they wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
No one intentionally travels across the country to play in the snow. Let's just be real. Like, you'd fire your athletic director. So you're like, yeah, I'm the coach of San Diego State. Let's go somewhere where it's really cold in December. Like, no big deal. It's like, that's not happening.
No.
Like I'd get like Michigan State going to, I don't know, another cold place that I've never been, like Pennsylvania or something. Like I get that. Like, oh, you're used to snow. Like it's not that big of a deal. It's like I don't even know how you practice for snow when you play in Los Angeles.
I wonder what they would do if Notre Dame was just like, no, you need to come out in November. We're busy.
It's like, no, the week before UCLA, you always play Notre Dame now. That's the thing. Sorry.
Yeah, yeah. Like, sorry, you're coming out. I don't know what to tell you. Sorry about that.
Honestly, I wonder who the more marquee team is. I know Notre Dame has like the NBC deal and stuff, and like they're like a national team. But like USC's pretty famous. I wonder who like has the cards in the deal.
Who has the cards?
Like who goes first? Like, oh, okay, you're right. We'll do it your way. Like whose bluff like holds up?
Well, I feel like Notre Dame, because like they're independent. They can just schedule whoever they want. Like they could get someone to replace USC.
But it's just like it's like famous. Like it's a thing.
It's
the greatest intersectional rivalry in the history of college football.
No, it absolutely is. I mean, I don't know. I guess USC does, because if Notre Dame had it their way, they'd be playing in November. So I guess the answer is USC, right?
I guess. I guess USC has it. You're right. I'll agree. Just
if Notre Dame had it, they'd be playing in November.
Yeah, because Notre Dame's used to snow and cold. And
yeah.
The sun not being up.
It's a total advantage.
It really is.
So yeah, I guess we know the answer.
Like, look, it rains and I freak out. Like, it's like, oh, water's falling from the sky. I'm over. I'm done.
Yeah.
Keep me inside.
Yeah.
You want to play football? No way.
Okay, so USC's got Washington State
on a Friday. Everybody, whoever listens, it's the game's on Friday. That's stupid. And I think this is the fourth year in a row that USC's played the weeknight game for the Pac-12. So that's great. It's like, hey, Notre Dame may respect USC. You know who does it in the Pac-12? Because it's legit. Like 4 years in a row, they played some crappy weeknight game away. Like, great, yeah. Okay, go to Oregon State on a Thursday. That's cool. No big deal. It's like, who's going to Oregon State on a Thursday? Arizona State.
What's the line?
No respect. -4. So USC's a 4-point favorite. That sounds about right on the road.
So 7 on a neutral field?
Yeah. Because Washington State, I mean, they score. Those guys score like crazy. I mean, it's Mike Leach. Like, waggle your sword,
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'll give the points.
Yeah, I mean, if they're gonna win, it's probably by a touchdown. I can't imagine.
Yeah.
In the end, like they're gonna if Washington State's gonna cover, they're gonna win.
Yeah.
So take that piece of advice, listeners. Like, don't bother with the line. If you're gonna bet on Washington State, just bet on the win straight up. And I feel like they probably won't, because everyone's talking about how good Washington State's gonna be, and like, oh, watch out, USC. So I feel like SC's gonna be okay. It's like when they go to, like, Washington State weren't ranked and they were going there on a Friday, like, then USC would be in trouble. The fact that, like, everyone thinks it might be trouble already. Like, people were talking about this Cal game being a trap game in USC circles. And it's like they barely beat Texas. I don't think that's a trap game. Like, and they're not, like, looking out for Washington State. Like, I don't think that's the definition of trap game. So that, like, when you're USC right now, you got to worry for the trap game. I don't think Washington State's the trap game. Everyone knows it's coming.
Mm-hmm.
But the short week, I am a little worried about the short week. I don't think anyone got hurt during this game, so hopefully everyone who's hurt now can play. I would give the points.
Okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Yeah, like you're a bit like, I think at -4, you're essentially predicting like who the winner is.
Yeah, like, don't mess around with points.
Yeah, I'm picking USC.
Yeah, I think they're fine. It's not too cold up there in the Palouse. Those
Right.
vegetarians eating their lentils. They don't. I love the Palouse, man.
we just we just gave Wesley lentils. He loves them.
They're great. I love lentils too.
He's a good guy. He loves them.
Look, if I didn't root for USC, I think my number 2 Pac-12 team would be Washington State.
Is that true?
I think that's true. Yeah, just growing up listening to Keith Jackson call the games, he loved the Palouse.
That's probably because you have too much history with all the other schools. You hate them too much. True.
Hey, there's some Washington State USC losses.
I know, but it's just kind of like you can't really get mad at them.
No, you can't. Like, I think Oregon State. Let me think about this real fast. Who in the Pac-12 would I root for if I didn't root for USC? Not UCLA. That's baby blue. Like, come on, let's get over that. No Arizona schools ever, because Arizona's like might as well be Texas. I know there's a state in between. Yeah, I think it'd be Pacific Northwest. It's somewhere where I would go. Not Northern California, because I'm a Southern California guy, so you can't root for Northern California. So it's got to be Pacific Northwest. So that leaves you the Washingtons. Maybe in Oregon. They have fun. They have the uniforms. I think we talked about this once before. Like, if I was a recruit, like, how could you say no to Oregon if they wanted you?
It would be hard.
It would be way hard. Well, maybe tough. Now, I don't know.
But I don't know. Like, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, like, back when Oregon was like, the Mamba, D'Anthony Thomas, like, yeah, I get not saying no. But now, I don't know. They don't really win that much anymore.
It's hard because, like, from what I understand, Eugene is, like, it's a unique place.
To the middle of nowhere, too.
Yeah. So, it's just, I don't know. I don't know if I could do it. I don't know where I'd want to go.
That is a great question. Like, what would you do?
I mean, if I was, like, here's the thing. If I wasn't, like, am I still a Notre Dame fan?
I mean, once you get on campus, I feel like it's all thrown out the window.
Yeah. I mean,
I'd probably go to Texas. I feel like that would just be like, it's like it's warm. It seems like it's fun. It's probably like a cool place to be. Like, it'd be hard to say no to UT in my head.
No.
Alabama would be tough because they always win. Like, who doesn't want to be
not
a good
Alabama? Because you're just going to get recruited over. You'll get recruited over. Like they'll just recruit some kid who's just like.
They'd get a better you.
Yeah, like if you don't perform, then they'll just get another 5-star who'll do it.
Fair.
I would think.
You want to
it's hard. You don't want to be in the snow.
It's just like a real hard no snow. But then what if Michigan wants you? You're like, Michigan's like pretty famous.
Michigan?
Like, what if Michigan wanted? Yeah, what if like Michigan and I don't know who's like Clemson wanted you? What would you pick?
Michigan or Clemson?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's hard to say.
Yeah,
I mean, it's like
I did
South Carolina. South Carolina versus Michigan. Well, I mean, like I'd go to Michigan because they have a really good psych program, and that was my major.
That's the nerdiest thing I've ever heard.
They have a good psych program.
For my classes. I want great grades. So my studies are important to me. I'm actually just going to go to Harvard because they only recruit on academics, not athletics.
Hey, listen. I'm a Notre Dame fan, okay? Academics are important.
That's why recruiting disadvantage.
And don't act like they're not.
All right. This has gone off the rails.
Yeah.
Any fun Notre Dame news that we missed this week?
Brian Kelly danced with his players after the game, and it was fantastic.
That's very un-Brian Kelly-like.
Yeah, you could totally tell. Like he was.
Is he trying too hard, or is he being authentic?
No, it was genuine.
Okay, I like it. I like people being authentic. I support that.
I await Paul Feinbaum calling him a big jerk. And he can't wait to leave.
I got no USC news. A short week, so be ready for that, Trojan fans.
Yeah.
Follow Greg on Twitter, Greg2126. I was ready this week. Follow us at wherever you get podcasts. We're Tilted Ground Untitled Notre Dame USC Football Podcast. We got all your bases covered. You can search USC, you can search Notre Dame, search football. We'll probably show up. Other than that, I think it's fight on.
Go Irish!